Hey everybody and welcome to the Bullshit Party. And in this one we're gonna be looking at the currently discounted Enity XXR. I've never owned this car and as you see the discount is substantial. So let's see if the XXR is worth it or not. We're gonna be taking a look at the exterior of the car, the interior, the sound the car makes, the performance upgradable options we have, and of course we're gonna be customizing it in Los Santos Customs. And as we're waiting for the car to be delivered, please don't forget to leave a like on the video and... Dang, that was fast. Anyway, as I was saying, leave a like and subscribe. And before we get moving, a quick glimpse at the Enity XXR. And as you can see, at least on paper, the car should be very good. Of course, it seems to be lacking in the braking department a little bit, but let's see what Los Santos Customs can do about that. And with that, it's time to go outside and look at the exterior of the car, the interior, and all the extra features it has. And we're finally outside and now let's take a look at the design of the car. It's clear to me that the car was very heavily inspired by the Koenigsegg 1. I think it looks great, the sweeping windshield looks awesome, now let's hear how the car sounds. To be honest, it's a bit on the generic side for me, but since we haven't upgraded it yet and the car is a couple of years old, I'd give it a pass. And I'm also very happy to report that you can open the hood, the trunk, and both doors of the car. I haven't looked at the Koenigsegg in a while, but I believe that this is fairly faithful to what the original is. But unlike the original, which is considered a hypercar, this is in the supercar category. So if you're looking to race with it, this is where you can find it. And taking a close look at the interior shows that the car is very well fitted inside. My biggest gripe would be that you need to hunch over in order to see the speedometer. I have honestly no idea why the car was designed this way, but it is kind of annoying. But I've seen this in many other cars, so it's not a direct complaint towards this one. And with that out of the way, it's time to see if we're dealing with a rear-wheel drive car, all-wheel drive car, or front-wheel drive car. And I'm happy to report that we're dealing with a rear-wheel drive car, but there's a catch. I'm not sure if it translates well through video, but the car has this weird traction control that's always on. Even though I never stopped giving the car gas, it would sometimes stop giving power to either one of the wheels. And with that useful piece of information, it's time to head out to Los Santos Customs and see what we can customize on it. And to give you my first impression of the stock car is that it feels very heavy. Not to say that it feels slow, but it feels very sluggish and back heavy. As you saw there, I almost spun out doing a regular left turn. Having the engine in the back might be a contributing factor to the balance problem. And other than that, and the fact that the car isn't very fast, at least at the moment it's not, it drives great, it's smooth, it's not bumpy at all, and it definitely feels like it has a spoiler on. And now it's time to go into Los Santos Customs and see what we can customize here. And if you've seen my videos before, you know that I like to get the performance upgrades out of the way first thing when I go in the shop. Of course that's gonna be the case with this one as well, but there's one thing that I noticed as I was exploring the performance options. Not a lot of visual customization options there, which to be honest got me a little bit worried since we're talking about a $2.3 million car. Anyway, a quick run through the front bumper options shows that we in fact have some diversity, so there might be a way to save this one. And going through the rear bumper options, well, I'm not very impressed, but at least we have something here. Next up we have the exhaust, and as you see the exhaust is covered with exhaust fumes. A little trick to get rid of the exhaust fumes in Los Santos Customs is to give the car some gas. Next up we have the hood options, and just like the rear bumper options, they are very limited. But as I said in the beginning of the video, this is an old car, so I'm not expecting the same level of customization options that we had with the new summer DLC. We're making the license plate black of course, cause, well, why not? And we're up to the spoiler category. And here I don't see any difference on the traction bar regardless of the wing that I choose. Even going spoilerless doesn't show any indicator on the traction bar, so I can't confirm or deny that it has some impact on the traction. And the tuner wing looks the best to me here, so let's put it on and keep going. I'm not a big fan of slamming the car down, but this one looks perfect with the competition suspension. And we're up to wheels, and we need to choose a new set of wheels for this one, so we'll be able to change their color. And since I'm going for a hypercar look, I want to put carbon rims on it. Next up we have the window tint options, and here I had a little bit of a difficulty deciding what I wanted to do with the car. On one hand, I really like the light smoke. On the other hand, it is a hypercar, and I really like the way the windshield just flexes around the car. And I think I prefer to conserve the clean look of the windshield. Of course, I did forget to put a tire design on before, so let's go back and do so. And again, since this is an older car, we do have only one tire customization option. And with that out of the way, it's finally time to respray the car. And as I was going through the options, I really had no idea what color I wanted the car to be. But as you'll see very shortly, the car looks excellent in a lot of different colors. But the color that I chose for mine was Formula Red. And as soon as I saw this color, I immediately had a flashback of the 2014 Need for Speed movie. And yes, I understand it's a different Koenigsegg, but still, red is red. And as soon as I'm done choosing the Pro Scent for the car, we go on to the secondary color. And the choices here are just amazing. What do you think? Do you like it? Do you see it? Neither do I. It's probably the way I set up the front rear bumper and everything else, but it appears that my car does not support secondary color, which is a bit disappointing. And as soon as I'm done drying my eyes, it's time to choose a trim color. And as we're going through all the options, I just wanted to remind you that if you're enjoying the video, to please consider liking and subscribing. A lot more cool stuff to come in the future, and every like helps to raise the notoriety of the channel. That's right, we went with orange. Who looks stupid now? No, but in all seriousness, it'll make sense, don't worry. See, I'm gonna make the rims orange as well. And you guys are telling me that I'm stupid in the comment section. Yeah, even you, Timmy. Anyway, with all the customization done, it's time to go out and see what this car can do. And not a bad job we did here, if I can say so myself. And as far as the performance difference of the car of before and after we were in Los Santos Customs, well, here's what I noticed. The car became just a little bit more jumpy and a little bit more uncontrollable. And the problem that I had with it before I went into Los Santos Customs with the tail spinning too much is, well, exacerbated. And even though that sounds like a naughty word, it means multiplied. And I have no idea exactly what it is, but I don't think I've ever driven a car with such a weird traction control, such as this one. Even as I'm spinning through the corners, sometimes you can see that only one tire mark is left on the road. But other than that, the car feels extremely fun to drive. And I'm not sure if changing the spoiler actually did something to the traction. I can see my house from here! And you guys are telling me I need to buy armor for the cars. Other than the weird traction control thing, the car is excellent to drive and also a lot of fun. And if you lay the gas just for a split second when it starts to turn, it's gonna straighten out, so that kinda solves my spinning out problem. And as far as answering the question, is this car worth it or not? Well, it depends what you're looking for. I got this car for a discounted price of $1.6 million. So everything that I say is gonna be from the standpoint of a person who spent 1.6 on the car. If you're getting this car to compete and win races, well, it's probably not for you. There are faster cars in the same price point that are gonna bring you the victory easier. But if you're like me and you don't care about races, it's all about the fun that you can have with the car. Just shredding some rubber on the open road, or as in this case in the airport in free mode, it's just too much fun for only $1.6 million. And with that, we are gonna be ending the video. Thank you so much to everybody who watched, and hopefully you liked what you saw. And if you did, please consider leaving the video a like. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. There's a lot more cool stuff to come in the future, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh, and at some point I did this.